is Sarah.
And my name is Sharon, and welcome back to Cake Dealers KE, where we bake and tell.
So today we are honored with an amazing guest that we both really loved at the same time. We really loved her content and everything that she does at the same time, which is very interesting.
And we know most of you don't know her.
Yes.
Boom, guess before lakini mtaona kwa caption.
Yes, so we welcome Muthoni by Bakes by MK, right? Yes. So you can introduce yourself.
So hi, my name is Muthoni. I'm the founder of Bakes by MK.
Oh, wow. I know you guys are wowed, like I'm really wowed that such a big brand is led by a woman and a young woman at it. Congratulations, it being belated International Women's Day. You're doing a very good job.
And
you really inspired us. I remember Sarah sent me a video and she's like, Ebu, just look at what she does for Valentine's. And then I was just like, hey, I think CBD is there.
And then like her packages are very affordable. And I'm like, how? So we decided to bring her so that atuambie her experience, and also I'm sure you would like to understand and know the ups and downs and ins and outs of having a business in the CBD. And especially in our industry. So we thought it would be important to bring her in. Thank you for accepting our invite very graciously. Sarah was very happy. But we really appreciate it.
Asante.
Okay, so you can walk us through the journey of how you started, how you literally started, and then you got yourself to CBD actually.
We can just start first with who is MK.
Who is MK? So MK is it's just me. I don't know how else to put it. So my baking journey started, it was quite funny. So there was a time we were going to visit a sister-in-law. And then I remember ilikuanga Garden City. By then it was The Game. I think ulikuwa na supermarket hapo ya The Game. Our sister-in-law was living all the way in Kamulu. So I had gone there. I really loved the cakes. Then
so The Game had cakes?
It had cake, yes. Venye tu supauza pale chini. So we drove all the way there to get the cake, and then we drove all the way back to Kamulu. So to Kafika, it was her birthday. On cutting the cake, up to now I've never really understood kama ni cream ilikuwa imekawia, sijaielewa. The taste was off. I don't know kama ni cream. I really can't tell. So I really felt bad.
And it was her big day.
It was her birthday. I imagined how far we drove to get your cake. Na tuliacha makeki like within karibu. So after that, I think nilikuanga Bakers Club. I used to love mambo za jikoni. So I was in Bakers Club. So I remember it was on a Saturday. The next Monday I woke up and went to Top Serve. I knew Top Serve by then. Nakumbuka nikabuy mixer or cooker nilikuwa tumeilea ile ya kawaida. So and I started baking. Like I was baking, I was like I won't buy cakes again. I think I was mad. Nikasema I won't buy quality cakes again. I'll just bake for myself. And I started. So back then I used to work in Gikomba, nilikuwa na beba, watu wananiambia oda moja. So sometimes I'd even bake it for free. So fast forward, Corona came. Business went really bad. Corona was 2020.
So at that time, when exactly did you start?
I can't know before or officially.
Now after, especially after your time ulienda Top Serve.
I can't even remember.
It was a few years before.
It was a few years actually. Sikuwa na buy like for selling. I was, you know, the way unasemanga ndakuwa najipikia kitu, nilikuwa na baini kwa najipikia like a cake. Alafu we used to live in Eastlands, we still do. So unapata even getting quality cake when the Naivas hakuna kitu poa. Sengine una have kwenda sijui Cake City. So I was like ndakuwa najipikia. So but sasa hiyo harakati ya kujipikia actually learned a lot. Nilikuwa na buy hadi cream like I was. So nimebuy cream na decorate na beba job. Watu wako like ninataka keki hata ujui kucharge because you're like nitawapikia tu bure. So by the time Corona was hitting, I think I had done it for for leisure for a while.
Okay.
So Corona came, and then I think it was 2020.
Yeah.
And then I think now business was very slow. So I stayed at home, I think that year. So I think on September, I decided like, let me start baking now for selling officially. I opened my Instagram page, nikaanzia pole pole. So we have a very big family. So they really ordered. So waka order. And I think too tuseme keki linikubali, because I think I opened in September, and December that year was like, sayo ilikuwa tu keki, haikuwa na like ati packages. By December we really had so many orders, Maka was declining some. Yeah, so that's how I started. Yeah, so unapikia kwa nyumba, you deliver them via Uber. Mostly actually ilikuwa Uber, unaika tu kwa keki kwa gari, inaenda kwa clients. Yeah. So and then it began like that. The next now the coming year 2021. So I actually staged Valentine's that year, the first time. I had put so much effort into it. You know, the way you do everything with your everything. I remember getting less than 10 sales, and but I was heartbroken because I think nilikuwa nime.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, so
I don't sell much during
easy Valentine's, Father's Day.
I don't. But I just go online and get photos and use them, because I'm just like, why would I put effort? And I won't get back the return.
There is time.
So I just do. I'll give you this as it is, this package. Like I'd get like a small cake and cupcakes. Because I don't get the returns. But sometimes it's not that bad. I'll get the 10 or 8 or 5. Yeah. But you see, on such days someone wants 15, more, 20.
You want to see more.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I did less than 10. I was heartbroken, by the way. I delivered, yani tulifanya tu ikasonga. So the next day I never did Valentine's because I was very heartbroken. And I remember 2020, I staged Valentine, I think 6 weeks in advance. So like I gave people time. So zikakuja 10 orders. I'm like, I've done this for 6 weeks, ningekaa tu. So the next year I didn't do anything. So, but people started asking. Now already it was too late because I haven't planned anything.
At the same time, you're still at home.
I'm still at home. I didn't do, by the way, sikufanya anything because walikuja yes wanakuza, but it wasn't in my menu. I hadn't planned for it. So I just skipped it. But now come forward now, the next year that followed, 2023, niliulizwa by the way na watu sana. So I now brought it back. So by the time I was bringing it back again, I still went big with it, with staging and all that and the photos. So it was very massive. It blew big. I even declined orders. Sasa ilikuwa busy. So tukaifanya. After that we did Mother's Day. After that we did Father's Day. Now after Father's Day, now I start getting kitambo. Ukiwa kwa nyumba unapata order ni Friday, Saturday. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So ikafika mahali now people want orders your Monday, Tuesday. I started declining a lot. Actually nilikuwa na decline daily, unapata decline order. So it's like, I think this is.
Let me ask, why were you declining?
Monday, Tuesday.
Because of delivery statistics. I can only take so many. Na alafu ulikuwa unapata sasa, now that I had shown them on Valentine that it's doorstep delivery, they don't. Valentine's tulikuwa tunaika kwa gari zote with my husband, and we were dropping one by one kwa gari. If need be, we would take a second car, assign a driver, he would do the same. So now after Valentine's, wanataka the same services.
Doorstep but cake.
Yes.
Free delivery.
No, they are willing to pay. But then again, I don't have doorstep. And then an Uber will not do doorstep. Uber hata toka shukia pande. So now that was a problem. So you get orders, some you decline, some you're able to take, because I had like 2 girls who could deliver hand delivery, but they were not enough because utoke don home, upande town, moja iko Utawala, ufike. By the time you're getting back there, it was a lot. So after Father's Day, now we decided we're getting too many inquiries and you're declining them. So ukiendelea ku decline hivyo, people will now lose confidence in you, and then you start back from scratch.
They'll get another option. So we just went to CBD. Within a month we got a space, and
to actually space ilikuwa like August. Father's Day naishanga mwezi gani? It's in June.
It's in June.
Yeah, so hiyo yote ili happen July. ndio tuka decline order. So August we just went, got a space, tuka renovate within a month, and then by September we were in CBD. So now we started running in CBD. We had riders. By then tulikuwa tumejipanga kidogo, uko na riders.
So your personal rider, your personal motorbike.
Yes. Okay. Cause sasa unapata wakurelaya watao, they fail you. Sometimes ako errands.
Anapata ka job katikati, umemwambia kuja
anasha kudanganya.
Kishe mtu kwa center
riders. Riders you should change. Stop lying.
So it was very relying on them. It's not a joke. Yeah, because sometimes they lie. Yeah, they lie. They lie a lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, so we got our own. So so we started pushing. One thing led to another. From there we started growing, like getting more constant orders. Kutoka tu hapo saa pole pole mpaka mahali tumefikia.
That is nice.
Yes.
What was the experience with now looking for the space, getting the space, renovating the space in the middle of CBD?
In the middle of CBD, I would say CBD is a nice place. Kuna kuanga na kazi. Alafu before ningia CBD, I used to hear people say ukiingia town hautoki. So I used to wonder mbona mnasema mkiingia
unatoka ukifungua branch nyingine.
Actually in CBD, unless ulifungwa, the way you wake up and decide I'm opening a business, it wasn't even there. Ile tu una try, you never close doors in CBD. It inakupushu grow. Alafu CBD, I don't know kama sahi, I'm sure kuna mwenye atakol sahi and akakiki west in 15 minutes. It's an emergency. Yeah, so
but you're able now to cater for such.
You're not able to cater for such because 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But now
15 years.
But they're always keeping you running. So hiyo kukimbizana now, it makes you grow because ina expand your potential. So ulali because yani sengine unaangalia unizoni order status zinataka kwenda, so you learn to be fast, work on what is maybe slowing you down, work on communication, so you're able to like move and expand. Alafu also because I was leaving home to a location, people believe in physical locations. So the moment now you have a physical location, it was easier for them to like tutakoniwa. There was a lot of
wanakuja wananganya. I know you get those alcam.
So unapata physical location actually has like 50% chance of expanding you, because people now hata kama si wote watakuja, they can send a rider and they're also like ako physical, so haizi potea na pesa yetu. So that also contributed a lot to like the growing and all that. But more than anything, I think it is tukiwa don't home, we really struggled with deliveries sana. Even on a normal day. So that's why I opted for town. In the first place I was like, I'll just go to CBD, in that even if mko watatu naweza Uber Utawala, nieke Uber iende Karen na nieke Uber itoke Kiambu Road. Alafu it's also affordable for the client.
Imetoka CBD.
Imetoka CBD, because when you're in down home you have an order for Karen, so you can imagine the distance, the cost is high.
Watu wenye wako end of the world.
And I have end of the world senior. Na nasenga doorstep
delivery.
But I feel like I always just I deliver most of the cakes myself, but currently there's a guy who used to deliver for me eggs and he used to use a bike, and not motorbike bike. Alikuwa ananiletea mayai, so he bought Uber and then we just sat down and agreed on rates together. So tunaangalia on now, like what I used to do, I just check rates like from here to Isinya, how much would the cab be. Then I see the middle ground yenye nitafikia yenye pia mimi sitajifinya sana,
na pia atafinya
sana, considering the distance. You just have to bear some cost. Of course si mingi sana,
but something.
Because you see, if I have like say 6 deliveries on that day na kila mtu amelipia delivery, if you put fuel you're able to
drop all of them.
Because unajua sasa Uber itabidi umemlipa the full amount, but if it's you're able to compromise
and it makes sense even
I just came to understand niko mbali, sometimes my costs are very expensive for delivery, so you just find a middle ground.
So maybe
and you see utaenda chini sana, let's say maybe ni 800 delivery, I'll just do 600
and it's fair and it's affordable. So maybe that was our main reason for CBD actually. It was honestly, it was deliveries and pickups and and also because we needed flowers
in CBD
it's easier.
Oh, that's a really nice. I don't think I would have thought that let me go and open in CBD.
I am even trying to think like what were the financial, like where did you, or how is it so difficult, or rather do you need a lot of capital, because I'm imagining the CBD, so you need capital to even have, like I see your fridge, I've seen your fridge, I've seen the things you use, and so I'm imagining, did you, that's time when you decided not to go to CBD, did you have all those things, ama you just decided
to invest
so what I had, I did have an oven, so for the fridge, for my now house fridge, I have size kazuri, so it used to cater for me, but now I knew since I'm growing and expanding, I wouldn't have taken a smaller one because kahawi ilikuwa inafika mahali weekend
unatoa vitu
unatoa zote.
Just saw my friend that time, she's like, how did you manage? And I was like, I don't know how, but I used to manage. Baka pale pakweka vegetables.
Kwangu, I remember we never used to stock like atuziweka anything unless ni freezer, atuko neka anything because they knew mkifika Thursday mnangoa zote. So actually ulikuwa na feel I have a fridge, but you know I don't even use it because hata nyanya utaki kiota ina need fridge because of the weekend, because you have to remove all of them. So at home I was a bit luckier. I think I had a quite a good size because ilikuwa ina fit a lot, but now I knew going to CBD hiyo ilikuwa inanihemesha. So I wanted actually to be, I was like, I want something that will never get full, and it never gets full unless it's peak days. It's that big. It can accommodate.
Oh, it's like a 2-door.
It's a 2-door. It's not a 3, but that was the biggest like yenye iko kwa market in Kenya. So we went for that. Obviously financially it was a bit draining, so we had to take a loan for that to buy now like kulipa hizo ma rent, ma deposit, kubuy fridges, kuongeza a few equipments like to spice up the space.
But it's necessary.
Kuna confidence. You're taking up even a loan, thinking about it. Personally, I'm really mimi loan at 20,000 nakwambanga stacking. So I'm really amazed by how you just decided, like, you know, unatupiga story ni kama it was not even a big deal. Like, imagine tuliamua tu tukaenda CBD
and like, wow.
What happened is because unaona, I remember like now ukifanya Valentine orders, I remember we declined. The moment you start declining orders and then you do Valentines, by the way it sold so well, we were amazed. Like inafika mali we were like, tuna deliver aje? Yes, tumechukua orders, how are we delivering? We do the same for Mother's Day, we sell out. I remember Father's Day, up to now I usually look at what I did for Father's Day. I was alone. I did over 50 packages. Za mapombe nini naziangalianga, I'm like, okay, I don't even understand how you used to do all that alone. So by the time 50 people buy from you, alafu more want to buy but you're not able to deliver, wanakupe so they give you that confidence of like, we can buy, but you know
when do limit.
Exactly. So I was there. I was pale pa. Actually, I remember we just woke up. My husband was on leave. Very funny enough, on coincidence, alikuwa leave, and I just went upstairs. Nikamwambia, I think I need a shop. He was like, oh, you think you need a shop? Nikamwambia, yes. And we took a matatu and went to town. It was that. We
need such.
We
love such spouses, and I feel like we should have an episode of supporting spouses. You know how lucky it is that you have someone who is like
supportive. Let's go. So we actually tuliamka, you know, na venye unaweza amka leo na orders uko like nearly feel, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt I need to move. I told him we went, I think we got a shop in the second day. So tukaiona, it was tiny. My shop is not big. It's in Ronangala Street.
Hapo karibu na Renji.
Exactly, hapo karibu na Renji. So we just paid for it. I was like, I'll start here. I paid for the money. I was like, wacha nikuje town. Let me struggle when I'm in town. Plus, by the time now you make the move that I made, I do... Personally, I've studied finance in university, so I had my books. Mi ni wale wa kitu ndogo kurecord. So nikiangalia sales zangu, I knew they would maintain me in town. I knew I didn't need new business to maintain me in town. I only needed more business to now bring employees. So my maths was ilikuwa ina math, singewahi rudi mimi hata sijaili parent from the pocket from day one. So I knew I'm okay maybe nilidhani maybe ni struggle, but as of now hata nikiwa kwa nyumba I can be able to pay that rent with my current business hata nikikosa kutegemea
wengine.
And that's a very important thing you've said. And I really resonate with you, for even while I was looking here, it's not that it's something I had planned for a long time. I remember I just had an urge.
It's actually like, an urge.
Kila so ukiangalia shop to let unaangalia, and that is the same thing you're saying, and I'm just agreeing because I feel like my business pushed me. And also the thing that when I was at home, I knew I would pay this rent with or without new businesses.
Yes.
Because hata mali umeona niko, I'm not at the front. And sometimes people come and they're like, hey, unajua sasa hata ujionyesha uko wapi, and I'm just like, ukitaka utapata. You know, ile nye, if you want something
new query, so they'll find it. Even
and
when
also,
you're at home,
when I was at home, maybe I knew the current clientele that I had were able to maintain the shop as is bila ku struggle. And I think that is something that bakers should also consider and learn, that when you're looking for a space, you should be able to pay and maintain and do everything at that space with your current finances. See ati unasema acha nene nifungue, then
customers
even you don't have customers actually. Maybe you're from school, you just decide just to open a shop.
That's very tricky. You should be able to handle that shop at the state that you're in at that time. That was very
so even so even for your question ya kuuliza about loan, it was still the same. Our mads could actually allow us to do that, to take a loan, and tukifanya hesabu, we would be able to pay the loan, we would be able to like pay the rent, we would be able to do all that with our current clientele. So hapa ilikuwa to grow, but even if we won't grow, we maintain, we are still okay.
I hope you'll agree to come for another episode for finances. I feel like you'd be perfect because you're in the industry and you have a back. It's important to have such an episode. If you agree, andika hapo kwa comment. Tupange haraka.
Yes, because now I understand. I feel like financial literacy right now is very important when it comes to business. And I feel like even because I know Strathmore, they offer those courses. I feel like when you're in business, you really need to know your finances kabisa. Usikwe ule tu mtu mwenye, yes, you're seeing money coming in, but you don't know if there's profits or not. So it's really important, because I know even for your pricing, you need to include wear and tear. You need to include the wear and tear, and sometimes it's hard to include it. Personally, I know sometimes it's hard, but it's very essential, so that when anything gets yaribike kwa uhitaji kurudi kwa your pocket
kwanza
you just get it from the wear and tear and everything like that. That's really interesting for me. I feel like that segment of finance, it really needs to come in handy, because loan mimi huhepea loan sana.
Inafika mali say sasa we didn't have an option, you don't have any money, you need to open shop. But you know
loans are good as long as you're able to pay them,
or not for taking for a new business. If it's an existing business, alafu it's that urge is there, you've done your maths, they actually don't even realize I paid. Alafu I didn't use any money outside. So I took exactly what I needed, sikubaki na any extra. So I bought the equipment I needed, and then we
that's really interesting. Nice. Because I had somebody say that if you're in business and you have never taken a loan, where you are not in business bado. That is what they say. I don't know.
Sometimes unaweza kuwa na savings.
There are people who say like a loan is important. I don't know in what aspect, but when you listen to
a loan is the discipline. Unaona sahi unaweza shindwa hata kusave circle, as in sahi you can actually get money and use it, but you know ukiwa unajua loan ni check out inakwanga ile ni to ajile ya bank, the one that they don't care, it has to leave your bank either way or not. A standing order. So what a loan does, it is actually, it gives you discipline. Loan ni current. As unajua end month, as in kaunda uko like huyu ata client ananisumbua hata ajui silipi rent. Kauna lipa anakusumbuanga uko like
hiyo lazima
wacha tu nichukue hiyo order 30th inakaribia. So kuna ka force tu fulani it gives you. Actually for me hata niki expand zaidi, I would prefer using loan than using my personal money that is not on loan, because loan gives you a certain discipline because you have to pay
And it
pushes you because you need that money, and month kikaribia you need to close your obligations, you need to pay salaries, so it's not bad as long as it's not for personal use,
but it brings back
the
whatever
money
you're taking the loan for. It brings back.
Alafu for me also it was for servicing equipment. Unajua bakery we don't like stock up unga, hiyo ni ikuli pesa, so unapatania tables like more mixers, so I was like ataka sorter like naenda tu na hangio fridge Ramptons meza na uza like what.
I love you.
But that's the truth. See, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Even if sai niseme kazi imeisha and I pay, I'm just saying, and I just dispose of the equipment. Me, I've not used it on stock. I used it on servicing equipment, and maybe now set up duka and all that. So at the end of the day, I was like, this is not stock, this is a service equipment. So service equipment, it means that microwave is still there, the oven is still there, everything is there. Those things are money. Nikiandika post, we are closing down, I'm able to sell and get the money in.
That's really amazing. So I've seen your
cakes.
By the way,
Bora tu uchukulie with papa.
Yes, true. Me personally, I've seen your cakes. I don't know, usually do mostly cream cakes, right?
Yes.
So you just practice. You've never gone. Have you ever gone for a class? You've just practiced by your own. That is really amazing. If you see her whipping cream cakes, and you also see what I think your employees, just it way I saw them doing it, and I was like, they're doing it like where it differentiates. Ati ni modoni ametengeneza na hii ni the employee. I don't know.
I feel like mahali most people are really scared of bringing in someone, because that time maybe I'll bring someone in.
But you're scared.
But I feel like ikifika kwa decoration,
that's where we draw the line.
And that is what is happening.
So
everything else she'll do, but for decoration.
So the first time I had an encounter and allow bringing someone in, it was during when I had like a small baby. So nimetoka maternity, so it was a CS. So whether I like it or not, I have two options: to either close down, na ukifunga biashara when it's back, it's never the same.
Hey, very true.
So when I knew now, si unajua nimefika miezi ngapi, so I remember bringing a girl in, she knew nothing. So I taught her. I think I brought her in like 3 months before I deliver. So she knew nothing, so I taught her a lot. As in nilikuwa namteach
home bado.
Nikiwa home before I even moved. That was way before, because the baby is 3 years na sijakata on 3 years. So I taught her. I remember nikiwa maternity leave, and I used to have a lot of orders. Nikiwa home like hizo ndo birthdays because najai meza mpaka huko. I remember she did the cakes.
I remember used to post a lot of cakes in
zimeja. So I remember she did those orders, and I came down and looked at them, and I was like, okay, if I didn't know I'm not the one who did them, ata client hawatajua. And that is the first person alinipe courage ya kujua you can actually teach or learn. If you know how to do it perfectly, you can teach perfectly. If you don't know how to do it perfectly, kama mimi fondant 0.
Sasa unatafuta expert wa fondant.
Hata staff tangi.
She doesn't do fondant cakes.
I don't do fondant cakes. Unless very simple ones. Actually what I usually do, I know it's wrong to say this, but me, if you give me a fondant cake, I'll send you a cream cake. The fondant price will be so na cream iko safi sana. So tuna clients are like, ama nichukue tu. I'm like,
That is exactly what I used to do long time ago. Yes, until I was like, somebody told me, I don't know who told me, and somebody told me fondant is where the money lies. So yes, cream is nice. It's because of the finishing, it's perfect.
It's
me, I love cream cake. But then fondant is where the money is, and I feel like even the creativity for fondant, for me, it has started. I don't know if it's from, I don't know, you can tell me, because I know for me, transitioning from, I'm very creative with cream cakes. Then when it went to fondant, nilikuwa nashindwa kufikiria kabisa.
For me, I feel like for cream fondant sometimes. Okay, not as much. I feel like I'm both. I can balance both. I can balance both, and I like fondant because I love character cake. Because the fondant that is fully edible.
Do you worry that it takes too much time?
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
In fact, I'm
happy.
usually happy.
I think that's the other reason why we've never taken fondant cakes. For us, we can be able to do like 20 cakes on that table in an hour. So me ufanye sabu ya fondant, I'm like, anza kuroll do. I think it has pushed us back because of that.
Lakini nini?
Mentally.
It's true, because I know there's someone.
Yes, but the same.
They can do the same.
If you see me, there's a day I was doing a live and I was covering cakes. It's very chap. Kwanza kama haina vitu mingi. Ai, chap.
You get someone.
Mentality.
You get someone. I feel like you should get someone who's good at fondant.
Even the master
or you
class
bring
I went.
someone to train you.
Yes.
Because actually I think that's what has pushed us back. Me na feeling it's like fondant takes time, and I'm like, I don't know whether if I take 2 orders, I didn't know you can do it fast, so I thought like 2 orders of fondant is equivalent to 10 orders of cream.
No, not necessarily.
Because I remember, as I was saying, my master class where I went, that guy was teaching us, but that guy can cover a fondant cake in 10 minutes. Like to another.
Then you're like, there's also a baker that Derek was doing a competition, and he covered a whole handbag. You know, a handbag.
That
complicated. Would take me a few hours.
Alifanya
na less than 45 minutes. So it's just.
I feel like the way
umezoea cream ni the
same.
Sasa utapata wewe wa fondant anaona cream ni kazi mingi.
Kwanza wewe wa fondant hawapendi cream cakes. Everybody who does fondant cakes
don't love cream.
When you see their fondant and their cream cakes, you will just see.
There's a baker who's a very good. He does weddings. His cakes are beautiful. Cream cakes.
Shida tu.
Unajiuliza ni ule.
So ni both ways.
It's both ways.
But fondant is where the money lies.
It's where the money is. I will. Now that you've told me, because for us it was also.
So when you do weddings, you do cream cakes.
Yes.
Mko same was up. Mimi nilikuwa nafanya 2 tier cream.
Ilikuwa 3. Yeah.
Nilikuwa tunampiga kila siku. Sasa nitaweza. Nini unafanya tu? I knew I would.
Yeah, but you're still scared.
And let me tell you, I was given a tip by a friend of mine. I add ganache, white ganache in whipping cream. I didn't crack. The cake was really, and then I got so many inquiries and number from that wedding. I've never, when I do fondant cakes, people don't ask for number. What ni tamu nini? But people are coming personally.
It was even beautiful.
Why whipping cream though?
Because people
too
eat
sugary.
And people eat. Unaona whipping cream cake? Unaonanga meza umemaliza kila kitu. Ubaki hata unajua fondant utabaki na hizo cream itaenda yote.
And I was like, wow. And then it also had a lot of elderly people, so I think they enjoyed because it didn't have a lot of sugar. So it's both ways.
I'll navigate by the time. If at all I take time, even though by the make quick fanya, I'm like the time it takes. After I'm not also patient. I think that's the other thing.
I feel like we should bring someone in to train fondant and covering cake.
Maybe I'll
learn. Even one of your employees that apenda fondant even more.
There's one who does them for us. Moja, but there's one. Kuna mmoja kwa hapo mwenye anaipenda. I think maybe I'll just go get trained. Learn it, love it, so I'm able to.
I was like, I understand where you're coming from. I was against fondant. Until I decided, now let me just go for a master class, because most people when they come, they want a wedding cake. Yes, I've done. And then you realize whipping cream cakes, for wedding cakes, you can't be so creative.
It's very limited. Anatumia design uko like hatuwezi.
Exactly. You can't do marble. You can't do exactly. So it's more of
you actually can't do anything trending.
It's more of serrated, spraying, and you know all that. So that is the thing that I think ilifanya amua tu niende to master class for the fondant. And right now I was even telling, I did a wedding cake fondant last year, and I was like, I'm in love. It was, and then you know me, I'm extra, so I didn't do extra on that cake, because the bride was like, I just got a white cake and it just has flowers, and ilitokea tu vizuri, and I was like, fondant.
Alafu ebu say comfort ya delivery.
Hata mimi I think
unaweza deliver kama umefunga macho.
It's seamless.
But you know, even whipping cream, mimi sinanga shida delivery at all.
But
me personally. No, I'm saying maybe for fondant cakes for distance.
Honestly, fondant never worries you. Ushtuki reda tashika hivi, mtaruka bumpy ruke na ni ya gorofa. There's comfort in that.
And also hata ukienda ku set up, unajua whipping cream unaendanga ku set up, you find you're setting up in 1 hour because lazima uzinue.
Na kubeba mixer, usually carry mixer cream.
Unabeba di mixer
kila kitu. Yes, anything can happen.
Wacha niwaambie mimi yule sibebangi hata kwanza hata hiyo ya whipping cream sibebe anything extra hata fondant I never akecha nisiseme Mungu alio
no but you have to
beba hata fondant. Remember the time I went to I took a wedding cake to not a Ronasho cake to Karatina, and then that day I don't know where my husband alikuwa ameenda, so akaniambia mimi ni drive. He was in the car but he sat at the back, and then he's just like, hey, uko ni comfortable, so he's stretched. I keep on telling him, is the cake okay? Yeah, it's okay. Narangalia hivi wacha start to exchange kwanza tulienda a different like 100 kilometers different routes, so tukaambiwa to drive back. Nikamwambia we drive, mimi nimechoka kwenda nyuma kuangalia cake huku chini ilikuwa inafunguka hivi. Nikamwambia cake iko aje vizuri. So I went on Facebook as we were driving back. Nika to Karatina town. I went on Facebook, I looked for bakers in Karatina. I found a number. That lady referred me to another lady, which I was really glad actually. It's really important to know each other, and I liked that she really showed. But she wanted to give me a place to repair the cake. But I was just like, because it's a guad going on top of like a drum thing, what I'll just do, just give me a piece of fondant. When I get there, I'll roll it into a rope. Then niekele kai kama rope. Mimi guad imekalia rope. And I was really happy that hata kama ni stress, si ile stress yenye kama yenye whipping cream in slide or something like that. It's just something that you can easily cover up with something. Nimepeleka keki mwingi huko Qso sijui wapi place inaitwa Kimwood fondant, and the barabara ya huko ni kama rumble strip, so mnaona hizi bumps that sasa hiyo ni the whole way over 30 kilometers. Na uko na fondant gives you a lot of space. Utakaa hivi kwa edge, but
fondant gives you a lot of peace. Delivery ya whipping cream, it's not the same. Even setting up for a wedding, na mimi nabebanga hata cooler box.
Basi mimi itakuwa baridi aje. I feel like you're exaggerating maneno ya whipping cream. Maybe whipping cream it never stresses me with how to.
Have you ever tried the ganache thing?
Even right now I've noticed, I don't know if you have noticed, cream cakes, I think it's the cream. The cream is the problem right now. There are things I'm noticing about cream. First of all, my cream cakes have never melted. Ever. But right now I'm noticing there's like a trend. I don't know, because I have set up 2 wedding cakes. The last 2 actually nilifanya like this Saturday kuna keke I did, and I could see, you see the way you can see layers, you know, ukishatoa keke kwa fridge huoni
naelewa, you're seeing the difference in that cream kaka nataka
EV. And then here in February when the heat was directed,
I think it's the heat, there's also a lot of
so I'm wondering, is it the, I don't know,
it's not the cream. I think of late the heat
because haina issue ukiwa kwa kama hapa haina issue,
it's the heat.
Unaona ukienda nje kuziset,
it's the heat, because hata say if you deliver anything in kona chocolate kitambo ilikuwa inafika poa, saa hii kanyanga tu hata utakuwa umefika stage. I think it's the heat effect. Right now the heat is not the same. It's not the same.
I had an accident over the weekend. I don't know, I delivered the cake, of course imetoka kwa fridge imeenda kwa client. Then nalisema nataka keki by 10, so keki kamfikia 10. Then I think from her place to the venue keki ka
no huyo tu ni kwa kushaliangusha. If you will see the photo, that is not a issue.
I feel like probably someone was carrying it, ika slide
heat hata I think unaona ni kaka tagline something you can
your accident.
I think I will try, after saying that I said I will try doing ganache maybe ndani like as a crumb coat, and then mwisho nje I do the whipping cream. I don't know, let me see
for the wedding.
For the wedding, see whether it makes a difference.
Yes, because
I mean heat in effect. I think it's too hot.
Me, I was shocked. It has never happened.
I don't think I wouldn't think it's the cream. I think it's because there's a change in the heat. I say squeeze unasikia joto. I think there's also different.
But also again, there's somebody who also told me like cream ilifanya, because there's a time I was making ganache na nikaeka, of course you do chocolate and cream, and it didn't, ilikuwa inaka unajua ukiweka ganache kwa keki it's supposed to ukitouch it does not transfer. Haiko inakauka.
And you wonder why?
That happened to me in December, and I kept keki imeka kwa fridge haikauki mpaka nileka fondant ikiwa hivyo, na nikienda kwa venue nilikuwa wedding cake. Nilikuwa nakelea keki hivi juu inafinya hii keki yenye ya ganache haina
na ganache inafaa
I have to just set up those 2 cakes
separately.
And let me tell you, My God is a living God, because I had 2 cake stands. So keki main ilikuwa kwa hii, ingine nikaeka, ilikuwa inakaa tu, ilikuwa inafaa
imeflow.
Alafu hiyo siku pia maua zangu zilikuwa
Shetani alikuwa ametembelea na all his relatives.
I make my own flowers. I wouldn't make flowers.
Yeah.
So I ordered flowers from Eldoret. Zilifika Saturday noon kama mimi niko already
kumesha set up.
Ilibidi nimenunua maua nini nitwaje? China Square.
Yeah.
Almost 4k extra.
Yeah. So
but
inconvenience.
Anyway, you find a way. Kuna vitu vingine just unachukulia tu kama
unasonga mbele.
But anyway, that's very interesting. So I wanted to know, like, so because you've told us you've not gone for a class or anything, so later, so right now, where do you think, like, unaona trajectory ya Bakes by MK kienda aje? Utaenda class?
Sitaenda.
So how are you know?
So for me, I
tunaenda class ya fondant.
Yeah, fondant tutaenda. Hiyo lazima, because fondant bebe ilinikataanga, so yeah, hiyo lazima.
Usikwenda hiyo mentality.
No, but I tried it myself without now training. You see the way cream imenitikia, fondant refused me, honestly. I think maybe when you umesema the patience part, or I don't know the recipe, but I'll work on that. I'll definitely
I feel like
work on
fondant
that.
needs patience. Like ukikuwa mtu wa chap haraka mimi nataka nimalizane nayo, because if I show you a cake I did with no class, I actually did even a wedding cake with no class, ile tu unaangalia online, but ile I had the determination of doing this cake, come rain, come sunshine. Nimechukua order. I have to do it. So I feel like fondant needs that kind
patience.
of mentality.
Because I think I need the patience part. Cause so maybe
and I feel like once you see you're able to do it, you will do it.
I'll do it. So maybe I just go for that fondant class. Maybe for the baking classes, I do read online a lot, not necessarily at a class, but just getting more information on what's trending, what's coming up, squeezy watu waneka feelings gani. I actually do that a lot to be up to date. Yes.
So like direction ya Bakes by MK, are you opening another branch?
We are not opening another branch yet, but we are moving. We feel squeezed already. We are not able to fit where we are. So maybe the next move right now, actually we are looking for space. Space in CBD is expensive, so
I love the determination. I like it when a business pushes you to the next level.
So
which is really important.
So that's actually, for now, that's what we are doing. We are looking for space. We need to move because we feel squeezed. Hata ukipata orders ka Valentine unapata mnakimbia sana.
Orders ziko everywhere.
Ukienda hii side kuna order, kuna
Because for her, she has, imagine she delivers. Valentine's did 14. I think you start on date 12 delivery.
No, 13.
13, 14, 15. Like, and it's a lot. But congratulations.
Asante. Unako bora umefanya logistics, it's not but the logistics starts like 2 weeks in advance.
Okay, you're one of the bakers I've seen you use an influencer. So what do you think, like what made you go to that direction, and
and how is it?
How is the result? So influencing, you don't do it to make sales, you do it to get known, for awareness. There are people who will see you, but maybe they don't trust what you're doing, they don't believe you're real. Kenyans, tuseme sana, there are people they believe. Kenyans ni watu lazima upush, like so for me it has worked. That's why I've done it like continuously. It works. It gives you value for your money. You grow, you're able to grow quite fast. You're actually able to grow quite fast. A lot of people who don't know you and know the influencer, they are able to like come, they might not actually, but influencers it doesn't work like nimepata influencer hii mwezi, next month sales ziko juu. Influencing takes like 6 months, and then now 3 to 6 months now you start seeing because the first 2 months ni wanza kwa sikizia anataja huyu sana, hebu tuonaone. So akiongelea sana, people like hii Bakes by MK imetajwa sana, wacha sasa tununue. So
wanaanza kuona they start associating your brand with trust, something like that.
It's the same way if maybe you follow someone like a big influencer like Murugi Munyi, ataje a hair salon 10 times, then the 11th time you're just going to scroll and see, okay, what do they usually do? Even if you're not going to go there, you'll prefer someone when you think they fit like they want that service. So if it works in the long run, but don't do it miezi tatu then ufunge. Long run it does work, and it has results. You get brand awareness, and brand awareness is inakusaidianga in terms of when you need to make the sale, because unapata even those Valentine orders you don't, au watu hawaja kujua maybe saa hiyo, maybe hata kuna mtu alifollowing last year but hajawai buy, but that's their chance, maybe that's the only chance they have to buy. So it does work in the long run, it does work. But now you also need to like whoever you're giving that job, they have to like ingiane na whatever you're offering.
True. Huwezi enda kutafuta mtu mwenye unajua hizi ingiana na brand
yako. It has to rhyme.
Unapeleka kwake.
So it has to rhyme.
But that's really amazing. We love what you do. We really, especially for Sharon, she was really amazed by the fact that you're in CBD.
Imagine CBD. Join us. It's not hard.
Don't give me ideas.
Imagine it's not hard. You'll be hizo deliveries zote songe kwa tu kwa CBD Uber and alafu there are people who are able to come there. It's not bad.
What are the challenges? Have you ever had like a cake fail? Have you ever had a client coming to your shop make you anapiga kelele kwanza unamsikia akiwa nje?
So I think for me mystery kama ni venye I don't take risks, venye msikia tu naogopa fondant. We do not take orders we feel zitatupe stress. So I told that to even everybody who works there. If you're unsure about an order, don't take it. So funny enough, for I think it's 5 years now since I started now, like I've never had a client complaining because it wasn't executed. We are very, I don't know how I just usually shield myself. Sana. I usually do that a lot.
Kuna wengine tu atakutafuta.
Ni kama nakula bahati. Alafu pia another thing I usually do, kuna client, when you start talking to them, you just so for me I don't know whether it happens to all bakers. I usually feel if clients mumesikia rapport haiko from the word go, it affects their cake even when we are decorating.
Akini ukweli.
I felt that too many times. Sasa mpaka nikaekanga pause. So kuna client tulisumbuana from day one, alinipe deposit. Imagine all the other cakes they are okay. Unaenda kuchukua yake weke kwa tebu ipige picha ina slide and you're like, na hizo zingine zote umebeba from the kitchen ukieka kwa meza. So yake afu ukiangalia unaona tulianza kusumbuliania
kwa conversation.
She wants what are they called?
And they want huge discounts and
so ingine even they want the palette colors. You're like, me, I have the normal green. I don't have that shade of green. Mnasumbuliana the details, and then inakuwa mess. You didn't even have a photo to show you actually made it. So unaanza kurealize looking back, if I dropped this order, it would have been so me I usually feel like it affects if the client I feel from the word go is a bit, maybe the rhyme is a bit off, ama they are too demanding, or maybe they want something that you can't deliver, or you can deliver but they have doubt. Me by them mtu akiwa na doubt naambianga, please go do your due diligence on us and then come back and pay deposit, and we do that more often than not. And they usually go and then they come back. So when you're coming back and you have trust, their clients, I don't know kama mnapatanga hizo experience, mtu anakuja wedding cake hata kukuuliza maswali
nifanyie patanangi baby na bride,
unafanya keki natoka poko like yani hiyo keki nakubali. And then there is mwenye mlisumbuana from colors, nikatia hiyo delivery fee juu, ima wanataka ikwe hapa ya juu nataka pink, so many details, and on that day something just goes wrong. So I think for the instincts, I did them so much when I was in the house. So for me, I know it's not good as a baker. You're not supposed to do that. But I learned to do the shield. Instead of irudi, ianze kutu affect. So maybe now the letdowns.
I've learned today. I feel like it's important when you just, although I've had such 1 to 3 instances, mpaka mahali mtu amekutumia deposit and you refund it back. Because unaona tu already ameanza kunipigia simu kuuliza ushabake. Unauliza umebake kama haujabake. Una bake saa ngapi? Because we hadn't decided on flavor, and it was, she wanted the cake tomorrow na to my deposit Thursday like 7 p.m. So I had to bake haraka so that by morning I decorated. By the time I nakujia 10, I may make order saa ngapi? 7 p.m. So me I said, let me just bake for her my most selling product. She wanted I think I baked vanilla plain.
Yeah.
Then akanipigia, so I wanted to tell her I've already baked so that as it change flavor, but ndo nilikuwa tu nimeweka kwa oven, I'd remove it nitoe ni flavor.
Yeah.
So when she said anataka blueberry na mint, I said okay sawa, because I had told her to share bake.
Yeah.
So and then nikamwambia nataka blueberry na mint. So while I'm talking to her, I'm telling my assistant toa eka blueberry moja, mint moja.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, me, I'm asking you, have you baked or not? I'm like, now should I start giving you details? I had
of how we operate.
Just put,
yeah.
So nimetoa.
Ni change flavor.
I've told her you wanted blueberry and mint. Yes, I've baked blueberry and mint.
I'm able to give you that.
My issue is, have you baked or have you not baked? I said, okay, the best thing I can do is just refund you the money,
yeah.
and then you find somewhere else.
Yeah.
They bake exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And I just baked the blueberry and mint, and I feel like it was on a Friday. She wanted her cake Friday morning. Friday midday mtu akaorder cake, nikamwambia the flavors are available, do you mind them?
Yeah.
No, I don't mind them.
Yeah.
Nikatengeneza hiyo.
Yeah.
So sometimes we are already like the issue is me baking the cake, if I've baked or not, of the flavors. You wanted the flavors I've done.
They want to control the process, and you know how you usually do your operations. I've learned nimewatrain at a shield. Even right now when I'm not there, they find like a client, kuna mtu atapiga nataka Mombasa Road sai mtatoa sai hapa, rider kwa wapi, nisaidia namba ya rider. Usually tell them slow down the client, refer them to me, and me by the way, we are usually very fast on doing refunds. I learned you take in toxic, mnakuwa too agitated. So instead of taking in toxic, akupe tu a bad mood in the whole day, you just cut off the toxic and continue with business. For us, we do that a lot. So if me hata unaweza niambia kitu na najua nafanyanga, and I'm like, I'm not able to do that. Angana simeona kama hii page yako, naambia akidecorator mwenye alikuwa anatufanyia hiyo squeeze yuko like cause nisha notice mali tunaelekea itakuwa toxic, and some are so toxic they even affect the whole day and
even your work environment.
Yeah, they affect it. Yeah.
Yani mnakani kama watu
affect so many conditions and that's below focus na keki. Yani uko na keki 10 but akili iko kwa because of how detailed it was.
Detail on a client's cake, and I just told her, you see, she wanted this exact cake, ndo hii picha umenitumia, and she wanted something extra gold or something. I forgot because that was a very busy weekend, and so for me, I directly went to the cake she wanted and started decorating. I forgot the other details. Yeah. So
like nikama tu I want exactly this, but maybe you forgot this pink.
Na ulikopia yenye iko na nikamwambia nataka purple.
Ni kama ulitaka keki iko hivi I mean keki iko hivi, si ndio, na hii pink, lakini photo umetuma iko hivi. So mimi nikienda kuangalia cause iko kwa conversation, I forgot
to
ile detail nilikwambia nataka, but sasa instead of bibo ikwe pink niweke purple. Okay, katu hiyo pink bado. So
and there are some who are understanding, but if uliona tu from a distance,
if I didn't, but anyway,
it happens. I went through that a lot, so I think I learned to shield. For me, I usually shield because nearly not one order it can go wrong.
It's important. I hope bakers at home it's not bad. It's not every order is your order. Si lazima anyone who inquires something you push mpaka you lower down your standards or your quality to fulfill an order. Sometimes let that order go. If it kama ni mtu anakuja ananitumia WhatsApp business message, I want this cake, this is the amount, and ananiambia you're too expensive, I'm just like, maybe we can do something next time. I won't start what is your budget, because then you're reducing your quality to fulfill that order. And sometimes the clients who come with that notion that you're expensive will want more, and unaona already umesha reduce quality yako, so giving her more for utenda loss, or they're just there's a lot
and they'll have too many demands and already attached Africa Bay.
So
but anyway, so I would love you to have give us a parting shot. What advice will you give to bakers, people who are inspiring to maybe, I think for us the biggest thing is being in CBD or something like that. So I think,
or just taking such a big risk and trusting yourself.
So I think for me, I would say consistency. Be consistent. As in, when I started, I think I was so consistent. It pays off. It takes time, but consistency pays off. Discipline.
Okay.
Keep your word. Usidanganye. Like, don't take orders. Uliambia client 10 imefika. If you can't, it's okay to decline. If you can, it's fine. Be consistent. Consistency, mwishowe, it actually pays off. Just be consistent, be disciplined. Yeah, it pays off.
Actually, to add on the consistency thing, like something I usually tell my students is post paka uitwe mudhoni wa cakes. You know, I'm sure whenever you go, everyone asks you, umetuletea cake?
Yeah.
Like people see you and they just see the
Associate
shape of
you
a
with cake.
Yeah, and you see that just draws down to consistency. If you're consistent enough, you'll start seeing. Like for me, I always give the example, my butcher guy orders cakes from me and refers me, and because mimi na postingi WhatsApp, rarely do I post personal things on my even my personal Instagram. It's mostly about cakes
and all that.
And you see, when you post so much about cakes, which is consistency, someone in a room hears tunataka keki,
anajua unashindanga
unatutumia vitu za cake
tupe keki. And also be consistent in terms of not only posting but what you offer. So if this is the quality, consist with that quality. So that people associate. When you grow, they actually associate you with something. And they're able to, like, you know, wanajua what I got back then and what I'm getting now is good. If it's better, if not, but it can't be. Usirudi chini. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
It has been a lovely episode, and we really hope that you'll come here next time to give us advice on finances.
I will.
Financial literacy, so that we get to understand, you know, where we are par with our finances in our business
and how we need to improve.
Yes. So we're so grateful that you honored our invite.
Thank you for inviting me.
Karibu sana. And you can follow her, Bakes by MK. You're on TikTok.
Yes, but not very active. But I'm working towards it.
Yes, I know her from Instagram. So you can follow her. If you are around CBD, you can order. You can pass by. When she literally can. I think you even have 2 cupcakes. Nini, Caesar, 2 cupcakes.
We are very affordable. Anything.
Yes.
She's
one day mmetumwa na cake.
Anyway, it has been a lovely episode, and we hope that you enjoyed. And you guys like, subscribe, share, and you can engage with us on the comment section. Yes, till next time. Bye.
Bye.